Imagine waking up in 2010 and realizing you had the chance to be one of the first agent at eXp Realty. Before the stock, before the revenue share explosion, before they became a household name. Now imagine if you missed it. You thought it was maybe too early or too different or too good to be true. But this time it's LPT Realty, all right? And if you don't know what's happening right now, you need to buckle up because this is the fastest growing real estate model in the industry, and it's the fastest one we've ever seen. Before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're always giving you the best, most relevant information on all things real estate and LPT Realty. So I want you to know that I'm here to help you answer those questions, but I need your support too. Also, make sure you comment. What do you think about this? What questions do you have? Share this video and give it a thumbs up. All right, so let's jump into this. LPT Realty reached 15,000 agents in just 3 years. Let that sink in. eXp took 10 years to hit that same number. Real brokerage, right? It took 9 years. LPT did that in a third of the time. And it's not by accident, not through gimmicks, but through a model that's actually solving problems that some agents didn't even realize they had. Because here's the thing. A lot of people are like, well, of course they grew so fast. eXp and Real paved the way. They absolutely did, right? But also, they turned a lot of people off to the cloud-based rev share model. So a lot of people looked at LPT and go, oh, no, that doesn't make sense. Without actually taking a look at it, you might even be one of them. I know I was. We go, you know what? I've already seen all these. They're all kind of the same, and it's not really my bag. So as much as eXp and Real helped kind of open up people's minds to the idea that these types of things work, it also turned off a significant amount of agents to that type of model as well. So I kind of feel like it's a net neutral effect. So there has to be more than it's just the latest and greatest, because let's be real, there's at least 5 others that have come out since LPT started, and none of them have even a fraction of the traction that you're seeing at LPT. Because this isn't just another brokerage that's growing fast, right? It's like watching Tesla race past Ford while everyone is still arguing about how to sell more gas-powered cars. You got to ask yourself, why is this happening? Why are top agents, mega teams, and entire brokerages pivoting into LPT? It starts with the model, first of all. Okay, at LPT, agents aren't forced into one way of doing business. You're actually given 2 options for compensation, right? Path 1 is the flat fee up to a $5,000 cap. Keep everything after that. You're paying $500 a transaction, small E&O and tech fee that's tacked onto your first transaction of the year, and a $195 transaction fee in perpetuity. But in terms of commission, you're paying $500 flat fee up to 10 transactions, up to $5,000 cap, right? Same thing. The second path, the brokerage partner model, it's what we often refer to as the rev share model. It's an 80-20 split capped at $15,000. Now after that, you're back to 100, right? But here's the thing, you choose range or do you want performance? Well, either way, you're going to get what you're looking for. And here's the thing, you're not stuck to that. You can change that as your business needs also change. All right. Now, here's the thing. You're still getting the luxury, the speed, and the edge, but you decide how it's packaged. Now, that freedom, that level of optionality is what's blowing up the traditional real estate model. Let's talk about teams, and in some respect, brokerages as well, but teams, because growth blowing up the traditional real estate model at the moment. Let's talk about teams. Growth loves leverage. All right, at Remax, for example, only 2% of teams are considered mega. Coldwell Banker, also 2%. Berkshire Hathaway, also 2%. Even Keller Williams, which really pushed teams for decades and or was on the forefront of building teams, only 4% of their teams are what you consider mega. Now, you might not care about that, right? But it's a really good proxy for big people running big businesses that have a lot to lose and have already built significant businesses. What are they doing? Either they're organically growing inside LPT or inside the brokerages that have more mega teams, or they're moving over to it. So obviously, with only being 3 years in the business at LPT, they're moving over. These big mega teams are moving over. Look at LPT. Those other companies, 4%, 2%, right? LPT, 44% of teams, 44% of LPT Realty teams are operating at what's considered a mega level. You're 10x more likely to build a mega team than at almost any other national brand. Why? Well, because LPT was built for teams, right? But not just for teams, it's built for the agents on teams. And that's a big important differentiation. Those other brokerages, especially the cloud-based ones, they are amazing for team leaders, right? They get revenue share, they get like reduced caps for their team members, all that stuff, but it really helps them in a major way. LPT, however, helps the agents across the board, because even an agent who's not on a team is still able to opt into that $5,000 cap, what these other brokerages, in order to get a cap that's not the full 12 or 16,000 or $20,000 cap, you have to be on a team. The LPT, one of the other great things I like about it, unlike more of these traditional brokerages, you don't really have to give up your identity, right? You keep your name, your systems, your CRM, your splits, your brand, all of it. And your splits is an important one if you know what I'm talking about those other brokerages. You also get the back end power of a national brokerage, right? We got the automated marketing, pre-built listing presentations and solutions, recruiting tools, training libraries, transaction support, print marketing delivered to your door. You're not building it from scratch. You're stepping into a machine that is already well designed to amplify what's already working. Let me kind of show you something that proves the difference. This is LPT's active marketing plan. It's a 21-page, fully designed listing magazine. You don't have to be a graphic designer. You don't need to have a VA. You plug in your listing info, headshot, brand colors, and boom, this is what your seller is going to see. So imagine being a brand new agent and this type of material, this high quality material is in your hand. Imagine being a team leader with 15, 20 agents who all walk in looking like they're running $100 million volume company. All right, that's leverage, that's duplication. And that's why LPT teams seem to scale faster, or at least attract the bigger teams. Right? So now let's zoom in on Florida, because I think this is a really good proxy for what's to come, because that's where LPT first started. It's been in California where I'm at. It's been in Florida for 3 years since its inception, because that's its first market. So in just 3 years though, LPT became the #1 home to mega teams in the entire state. So let's break that down. Keller Williams, 8 mega teams in Florida. Remax, 5 mega teams in Florida. What about EXP? Because they have a lot of really big teams too, right? Aren't they really good? And they've been in Florida for well over a decade. They have 17. That is awesome. LPT though, 22. Put that in context. That's 1 out of every 3 mega teams in the state under one brand. And that brand wasn't even on the map 5 years ago. This isn't a blip. This is a blueprint, okay? The next question you have to ask is, why haven't more people heard of LPT? Well, because we're pretty early. And early is where the upside lives. This is like being offered Bitcoin in 2011 in my mind, right? I'm not giving you financial investment advice or whatever, right? But it's like being part of that in 2011, or Facebook before the IPO. Everyone else sees it as risky. A lot of people do. But here's the thing. And I have this, friends that made tons of money by being smart and getting into those other brokerages early. The ones who act like they really write the future. Okay, most agents will only recognize opportunity once it becomes like very obvious, but by then it's often crowded. So the growth curve has flattened. The rewards are already claimed in those models. Now, right now, LPT is actually expanding across all 50 states and Canada, and it's doubling in size year over year. And I'm not just making that up. Go check Real Trends. All right, we came up on their anomaly report because of how fast we're growing, but not just in agent count, but in production. All right. And the agents who are building with it now, well, they're not just riding the wave, they're owning the wave. Okay. You need to understand that. Who is LPT for? Well, if you're an agent who's tired of giving away 20, 30, 40% of your commission and getting minimal support in return, especially as it relates to marketing, this is your way out. This is your call. If you're a team leader and you're looking for freedom, the flexibility, and the systems that actually scale, and to join a network of the biggest and most productive teams, that's where LPT is now. Now, if you're a broker owner who spent years building something special, but you're hitting a ceiling, this is your national platform. I'm telling you right now, at LPT, you're not just joining a brokerage, you're aligning with a model that's structured for the next decade of real estate. It's modern, it's agent owned, it's tech driven, and its leadership is killing it. All right. They are some of the smartest, most capable people in the industry. Hands down, I'd put them up against anybody. Look up Robert Palmer. As a matter of fact, I just put out a video last week about who Robert Palmer is and why it's one of those things where you've probably heard the phrase, bet on the jockey, not on the horse. I'm betting on the jockey, Robert Palmer, all day long. I'll put him up against anybody. Here's what's crazy is that This revolution, this opportunity is happening right now as you're watching this. I'm shooting this video mid-2025. And the question is, will you watch it happen or will you be part of it? All right, I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to invite you. If this message resonates with you, where you're at in your business, we need to talk. Book a strategy session, okay? Go in the description below. There's a link where you can book one-on-one time with me. No pressure, just real insight on what this could mean for your production, your team, your legacy. Because the next wave in real estate isn't coming. It's here, and it's called LPT Realty.